Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for staying tuned at Smart24 TV, where we drive your business. My name is Anthony, and I am your host. I'm still talking to Honorable Nyangresho Dennis, who is the MP of Samia Bugwe County, there, Central in Busia District, and we're talking the national budget. Now, Honorable, you sit on also another committee, I'm informed, that is the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Budget, where you advise the President on matters of the budget and the priority sectors, but also you represent, you're the Vice Chairperson of the Public Sector Strengthening segment of that committee. But when you currently look at the national budget, priority, it's a good thing. Priority has been given to human capital development, which is quite good, because without health, without education, I mean, what's a country like? Where my concern is the agro-industrialization. I don't know, but I feel like it coming in the first place is a kind of underestimation. And I want to know, in your view, what these priorities, especially in this framework paper what we are talking about, set right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anton, for this. When I was growing up in school, I studied one concept of development, which I still believe that if given attention, it can work. We even attempted, I think, to use it here, and it somehow worked. We used to call it a big push theory. That because you have few resources, you are not going to get results if you scatter the few resources on everything. So concentrate resources where you think there will be a higher multiplier effect. So a big push. Try to suffocate others temporarily, such that you push this one, it is going to create a multiplier effect on the others. The president attempted it on the infrastructure, on the roads. And that's why at the moment we have a fairly well networked country in terms of road openings and tarmac roads. And and you see the effect it has on the other parts of the economy in terms of sectors. It cannot be underestimated. There has been a concern as to why governance and security still keeps on taking a lion's share. These sectors are interlinked. By the way, you cannot have development without security. Our focus as parliamentarians have been emphasizing that how do we make use of the available security personnel for development, not for these other luxurious reasons at times we have seen, where you see that much as we're talking of governance and security, you find the concentration is not what is intended for. You mentioned about the parish development model. The parish development model is going to is a vehicle for full monetization, because we are trying to get a few who are outside the money economy to get into the money economy by abandoning their way of work, the subsistence type of living, to some kind of commercialized and organized life. This will automatically create need for security in terms of adjudication, in terms of policing. This is only done through governance and security. When you look at the entities of governance and security, there are 33 MDAs
under
governance and security. Very many. The police is there, the prisons is there. It is even linked to the other programs like administration of justice. We also have a component of they are also contributing to governance and security. When you look at the legislature, is also there is some aspect of governance and security. So this budgeting framework from sector-wide to program-based approach has not been disseminated very well by the responsible ministries of finance and the National Planning Authority. So it leaves people, it has left a lot of gaps. And when there is a lot of gap, there is a lot of speculation. And speculation takes the day. But your concern is the concern of every Ugandan. That what do we need to achieve? If we are talking about the biggest driver to the economy, where we are told, even when I was still a child in A level, I was told that agriculture employs 80% of Ugandans. Agriculture produces a lot of benefits to the rest of the. You cannot have education without agriculture. That's you should get to know that. You should not. Poor agriculture leads to poor health. So you cannot have health without agriculture. So just leave out employment part of it. But it's the driver to the other sectors of the economy. And if we are talking about a full transformation of Uganda's economy, you must give a big push to the agriculture. You cannot have an agriculture sector relying on nature and forecasts. We have a whole department just forecasting and warning farmers. Don't plant. It's time for harvesting. Start planting. We suspect. We expect some rains within a month and a half. Which kind of agriculture are you talking about? You must have an agriculture sector which you are fully in charge. And how are you going to be fully in charge? By ensuring that the supply components of that sector are within your armpits. You are able to supply and provide water and tell farmers that this is the time to plant. And we are going to provide water for planting. We are going to provide. That's one aspect.
Regardless of the season.
You cannot rely on nature.
Absolutely.
And that you have made your economy very vulnerable because you are not in charge of nature. So you must be in charge of the supply. The supply. Then too, you must control the demand. How? We used to have buffer stocks. This is where, when we were studying, we used to see a very good picture. A buffer stock, a stabilization fund. These are, I don't know why they have remained on paper only. Such that you are able to control the prices for farmers, such that they benefit from their goods. You cannot tell farmers to plant and at the end of the day they are selling a kilogram at 200 shillings because they are left unattended to. Liberalize the economy, willing buyer and willing. You must control by providing storage and value addition. Without providing value addition and storage, then again you continue to make the farmer very vulnerable. They will go out, get agricultural loans, produce, have nowhere to sell. When they have the market, they cannot determine the price. The state is absent. The state must be present from the supply of seeds, a control of weather. The government should.
The utilities involved.
Should supply fertilizers, should supply manures, and after that we expect a better supply. Now government must come in to shield the farmers such that they are able to pay school fees for their children, such that they are able to pay loans which they acquired to produce this. But at the moment, it is to whom it may concern. The government is only thinking that when you provide feeder roads, you will have funded the agricultural sector through commercialization. It's not possible. It means you are going to extend high voltage power, phase 3, to rural areas. Help those cooperatives build storage facilities, build value additional facilities, then help them to look for the market. You can imagine a whole head of state of a neighboring country saying, please take advantage of the market by producing good quality milk. Then we buy cheap ones from Uganda. You see, that kind of... and it makes us less in charge.
Yeah.
When you hear such a message, we should be able to come and say, where is the cheap milk? Let us also add value on ours. Let us control the quality of milk, make it more marketable. We get free the market. Because now Kenyans are selling their milk expensively in Congo and buying our local milk because it's cheaper for their consumption. So we are not helping the Ugandan farmer. And if you are not helping the Ugandan farmer, then basically you are not helping the agricultural sector. So much as they are linked, we have the integrated transport service as part of also agriculture. And this, as I've told you, NPA and Minister of Finance should have explained it to us, Ugandans, such that they understand. Because they don't know that when you fund the road network, you are funding agriculture. You are funding agriculture. How? You are creating access. You are creating access to market, such that instead of bananas, matoke in Western Uganda rotting in the gardens, they are able to be transported through a good road network. Fusos can go as far as the deepest parts of Kanunga and pick these bananas and matoke and take them to Sudan. That's how you are going to support. So the road network is part of fund to the agriculture. So we just need to, if you teased out, it is still low. It is still low. We need a better, because me, I've always been, as a voter, not as a leader, I've been thinking that if a sector is employing 80%, is almost contributing to 80% of the economy, then it should be funded to at least half of that. We should be talking about 30% budget going to agriculture.
And we have only 3% now.
We have not even 10%. So this lip service is going to continue until we get a big push theory approach to fund the agriculture, such that now agriculture can now be able to lead to other leakages of industry through agro-processing and value addition and also services. Because if you have agriculture well funded, the service industry is going to increase. People are going to seek for more assurance for their products, for their gardens. So the service industry is going to increase. When it increases, it's going to employ more people. So we just need to know, what should we start first, the egg and the chicken? Which one came first? Then we shall be good to go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Still in the same line, amongst the sectors that were really underfunded, when you look at programs are projected to receive some of the least allocations, they include the innovation, technology development and transfer, which is about 177 billion shillings projection at about 0.36%. Also mineral development at just about 0.08%. And above all, and this is also my major concern, community development, community mobilization and mindset change, receiving only 21.99 billion. Now we are talking about this because programs like Parish Development Model have this as a pillar: mindset change, community mobilization. I once talked about the Parish Development Model with one of the government officials, and he said, no, we are giving farmers who are going to go into circles, and they're receiving 100 million. So, and we are trying to train them just here and there. But my question was, if someone hasn't even been earning 10,000 a day, and you're giving them, let's say, 30 million. Yes, they're in a group, they're in a circle. How do you expect them to catch up and be able to manage this 30 million? And this comes to me as a fundamental part of mindset change. Why are we underlooking some of these sectors?
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. One, I want to correct some impression here. We have not really, and this is a challenge in how the policy on parish development bond operates. Up to now, we have even some people who don't understand how this parish model operates in terms of the final recipient. There are no groups that have been targeted to receive money under the parish development model. This money has targeted households, individual households, persons are the ones whom we are targeting in terms of access to this money. We are not going to receive and appraise a group that we are going to give you money. The only group money which comes is the parish. And the parish, it is a group. But now for people to benefit out of that money from the parish circle, they come as individuals. They don't come as groups. We have some money for groups. And the myoga, if you are boda, saloon operators, those people who are providing some kind of services, that is their money for a myoga. For parish development model, the money is at house. We are targeting household, and we are looking at the lowest household, and there is a startup. We are looking at a maximum of 1 million per household head or participating beneficiary, carved down into the 10% for elderly, 10% for older persons with disability, 10% for youth, 10% for 30% for youth, 30% for women, and then 10% PWDs, 10% elderly, and then the rest can get the 10% to make it 100%. So that's what I wanted to emphasize. And it's unfortunate that in this era, when we are almost getting to take off as an economy, we are still talking about a lot of money for mindset change. And this is the problem. When we picked money, some of the money from the financial inclusion pillar, and they said, no, this money should wait, let us first go and prepare the people through sensitization, helping them to come up with the enterprise groups. You saw what happened. How many cows were arrested? Why? Because they are trying to duplicate this mindset change, and they think it is something that is outside what they are doing. No. And they took some of this money, and some of them have been arrested, some of them have refunded this money, because we thought that now there is a concept, there is a supermarket where you are going to buy a mindset and then start taking to people that now want you to change. No. We need to localize this parish development model. I have been telling my people back home that we are expecting this money to come, but don't wait for it to start. I don't need money to go and change their mind. I'm already telling them this money is coming. Don't wait, because if you have nothing you're doing, don't even apply for it.
True.
We are looking for people who have initiative, people who understand their poor being and have woken up, but they lack money. They need capital. Somebody has a capital of 50,000, he's selling silver fish. He has the idea, he just lacks money to increase on the volume. This is the person we are looking for. We are not looking for somebody to receive this money to start thinking on what they can do, because this is revolving money. You must return it within 1 year with an interest of 3%, 6%, such that other people can borrow. So the kind of mindset we are talking about is just to awaken our people and prepare them There is no syllabus. I always tell people, mindset is like patriotism. It is inculcated. It's not going to be taught in a formal kind of way. You see, others learn through others. Some people have taken their children to school not because they want, but they have learned through others. Even when we are being sluggish, the neighbors took their children to school and they started seeing the benefits, and others have started. But it was not possible to tell everybody to take children to school at that time. So that's how society evolves. What we need now is to clearly target those ones who are ready. I don't want anybody to blame the failure of the parish development model on poor mindset, which they needed a mindset change. No, it will be poor targeting. Let us target those ones who have appreciated their poor being, have some level of initiative, they lack a capacity. And that's how we are going to move. Then the mindset, other people are going to see change and they will change themselves. But if you start blaming people for having been given money, but they were not told how to, they were not told financially trust, they were not taught business techniques. These things people learn. People learn business. There are some people who are very good at forecasting business opportunities, but they never went to school. They know how to count money. They know where money you put and you get a return without necessarily going. We first target those ones, then the others will learn and they will be supported to get to the level where we are.
Absolutely. How about now the mineral development and innovation and technology? I'm looking at, we've started drilling oil successfully just a few days ago. And of course, very many people are looking at this sector. It has been the talk in the industry that the oil and gas is going to bring a lot on the table. And when I look at these two, mineral development, innovation technology, and development transfer, these are some of the things that could probably be funding this sector. And we also underlooking the oil and gas sector.
No, it depends. You see, I don't want us to be preoccupied with the figures. How much is adequate to do what? That's what is more important. It's not a matter of saying this should be 4% because it is communication, technology and innovation. What do you need there? Are you talking about fiber optics? Are you talking about connecting the rural areas? What are you talking about? Providing internet to primary schools? Those are the issues we should be looking at, but it's not proper to start looking at the sector allocation in terms of percentage to the budget. We shall not get it. We want to look out. If you, the media, can help us at policy level to highlight what you believe is not funded, you break it down. Because like last time, I loved the media when they said if we are expecting to get money from the tourism sector and you are funding it this way, then we are most likely to get less or to get a raw deal. That's a very proper analysis. So in terms of innovation, communication and also mineral development, there has been a lot of investment. Some of this debt you are talking about, huge part of debt has been sunk into the oil sector through the sunk costs, which we are to pay as Ugandans. So before you start agitating for more funding, you need to understand how much has this sector been funded and at what level should we start seeing the results.
Okay, absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much. Now, Honorable, we're going to take another short break. But when we return, in 2018, there was a plan to rationalize ministries, departments, and agencies. And one of the things that people look at when it comes to budgeting is public expenditure, especially on wages and salaries of different government officials. How far is this going to be addressed in the coming budget for 2023-2024? You're watching The Point, and this is Smart24 TV. We are taking a very short commercial break, and we return shortly. Stay with us.